There comes a moment when life whispers, softly at first, that everything you've prayed for, dreamed about, and imagined is drawing near. That moment is now. If you are hearing these words, it is not by accident. Something deep within you has been preparing for this revelation. You are about to win everything. But to win everything doesn't mean you are about to gain what you lack. It means you are about to remember who you truly are. The power you've been searching for outside has been quietly residing within you all along. Everything begins in imagination. Before any victory appears in the outer world, it is already complete in the inner one. The image you've held, the success you've seen behind closed eyes is not fantasy, it's a preview. You are simply walking toward what is already yours. The world you see is the reflection of your inner state. When you lift your consciousness, your world must rise to meet it. When you declare yourself blessed, life arranges itself to prove you right. When you assume the feeling of already having won, the universe begins to rearrange its pieces in your favor. Get ready, because once your inner conviction changes, the outer cannot remain the same. Relationships shift, opportunities appear. What once seemed impossible becomes ordinary. This is the law of life. What you accept as true within yourself must express itself without. You cannot stop it. It's as certain as sunrise. So prepare, not through anxiety, but through certainty. Walk as the one who already has what you've prayed for. Speak with the calm of someone who knows the outcome. Feel the joy of completion before it arrives, for in truth it already has. You are not waiting for your victory. Your victory is waiting for you to recognize it. If you see this message today, take it as confirmation the shift has begun. The doors that were once locked are opening. The timing is aligning. You are about to witness what happens when belief becomes reality. Stand tall, give thanks, expect miracles, because this is not the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of your becoming. What you are seeing right now is not a coincidence. Nothing in your path has arrived by accident. Every sign, every message, every encounter carries meaning, a reflection of the inner movement taking place within you. When something in the outer world captures your attention with a strange sense of familiarity or divine timing, it is your deeper self whispering, I am awakening. It's the unseen part of you, the spiritual reality that has always existed, finally breaking through the surface of your conscious experience. Life communicates in symbols and feelings long before it delivers tangible results. The physical world is not the starting point of your experiences, it is the echo. What you are noticing right now, the alignment, the message, the synchronicity, is evidence that your inner world is beginning to take form, that what was once invisible in thought and imagination is moving toward manifestation. The outer sign is simply the shadow of an inner cause. You've been thinking, feeling, and imagining your way into this very moment. Even when you didn't realize it, your thoughts were seeds, your emotions were the soil, and your assumptions were the sunlight that gave those seeds life. Now those inner seeds are breaking ground, pushing through the soil of time, revealing the first signs of what you've been cultivating within. You are witnessing proof that your consciousness creates reality. Most people see signs and dismiss them as coincidences, yet the awakened one recognizes them as confirmations. They are not random, they are responses. Every time you raise your vibration, affirm your worth, or visualize your dream as already real, the universe responds by arranging a reflection to match it. That reflection may come as repeating numbers, a phrase you suddenly hear everywhere, a song that speaks directly to your heart, or even a video like this appearing at the perfect moment. The outer world is simply mirroring back your inner transformation. When you begin to see this connection, you stop doubting and start trusting. You no longer look at the world as something separate or outside of you, but as a living mirror reflecting your state of being. The awakening to the sign is an awakening to your own creative power. You realize that you are not a victim of chance, but the author of destiny. Everything happening around you carries your energetic signature, your belief system, your mental image. So when the signs appear, when you feel that deep resonance that says, "This message is for me," don't dismiss it. Pause. Feel it. Let gratitude rise within you, for this is the universe confirming that you are in harmony with your desire. The outer evidence means the inner shift has already occurred. You are no longer trying to make something happen. You are allowing what has already been created in consciousness to unfold in time. The signs you see are the footprints of your future. They are the bridge between imagination and reality. And when you recognize them for what they are, you align yourself fully with the flow of creation. The sign is not the end, it's the beginning of realization. It is your soul saying, "Keep going." Your manifestation is already on its way. Everything that exists in your world first began as an unseen image, a vision, an idea, a quiet knowing held within the mind. Imagination is not a mere escape from reality. It is the workshop of creation itself. Long before anything becomes visible to the eyes, it must first be conceived in the unseen realm of consciousness. Every building, every invention, every success story began as an image that existed only in someone's imagination. The outer world is simply the shadow of the inner one. What you hold within will in time take shape without. The unseen image you've been nurturing within you, the dream, the desire, the version of yourself that feels more like home than your current life, is not fantasy. It is the seed of reality pressing forward into expression. When you imagine something with feeling, you give it substance. You breathe life into it. The universe does not distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically real. It responds to the vibration of your inner state. This is why imagination is the foundation of all manifestation. It is the blueprint from which the structure of your reality is built. To imagine is to create a new state of being. The moment you see yourself living your dream in the theater of your mind and you feel it as though it were already real, you shift your identity. You are no longer someone hoping to receive. You become someone who already possesses, and life, which mirrors your inner assumptions, rearranges itself to reflect that new identity back to you. Everything begins and ends in consciousness. Many people wait for outer evidence before they believe, but the awakened soul knows the opposite is true. Belief brings evidence. You do not wait for the world to show you signs, you create them through sustained imagination. The unseen must always precede the seen. Just as a seed must exist before the tree can grow, your imagined reality must exist before it can manifest in physical form. You may not see results immediately, but that does not mean nothing is happening. Just as a seed works silently beneath the soil before breaking through, your imagined life is forming beneath the surface of your experience. Every time you return to that inner vision with conviction, you are watering it with faith. Every time you feel it as real, you accelerate its unfolding. Understand this. Your imagination is the creative power of the universe, individualized in you. It is not wishful thinking, it is divine intention. When you imagine with love, clarity, and certainty, the world must conform to your vision. The unseen image you've been holding is not waiting for permission, it is already pressing forward into visibility. The people, opportunities, and circumstances that match your inner image are being drawn toward you even now. So, protect your imagination, guard it as sacred. Live more in the unseen than in the seen, for the unseen governs the seen. And when you fully accept that what you imagine within will inevitably appear without, you begin to live from the truth that imagination does not follow reality, it creates it. Feeling is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between imagination and reality. It is the secret language through which your inner world communicates with the universe. Thought alone is not enough to bring your desires into form. It is feeling, the emotional acceptance of your desire as already fulfilled, that activates creation. The moment you feel the end result as real, the process of manifestation begins. You can think endlessly about your dream, repeat affirmations, visualize pictures, but until you feel it, nothing moves. Feeling is the energy that gives life to imagination. It is the proof to your subconscious mind that what you desire is already yours. The universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your vibration. That vibration is determined not by what you say or think, but by what you feel to be true. When your feeling and your desire become one, the manifestation cannot be stopped. This is why pretending or hoping does not create. Hope implies separation. It says, I don't yet have it. But feeling as though it is already done unites you with the end result. When you can sit quietly, close your eyes, and feel the emotions you would experience if your dream were already real, relief, gratitude, joy, confidence, you impress that reality upon the deeper layers of your mind. Once impressed, it begins to externalize through people, events, and opportunities that match your inner state. You don't have to force anything to happen. Feeling does not require strain or effort. It is an act of surrender, allowing yourself to believe, even for a few moments, that it's already done. When you feel from the end, you no longer chase or struggle. You live in the calm knowing that the invisible has already taken care of the visible. Life becomes a mirror reflecting the emotions you consistently occupy. Feeling is not something to be fabricated artificially. It is cultivated through faith, through the quiet conviction that imagination creates reality. If you can convince your heart before you see it with your eyes, the world will soon catch up. Think of how powerful emotion is. A single feeling of fear can cause the body to tremble, while a single feeling of love can heal wounds. Now imagine what happens when you sustain a feeling of already having your desire. Your entire reality must bend to match it. When you feel abundance, you attract abundance. When you feel loved, love finds you. When you feel peace, your environment becomes still. You cannot escape the world you feel within because the outer world is its reflection. This is why the greatest secret of creation is to dwell emotionally in the result you wish to experience. So stop waiting for proof before you feel good. Feel good first. That's how proof arrives. Let your emotions be the gateway to your new reality. Feel it deeply, consistently, and with gratitude, and the unseen will become seen. The moment you truly feel it, the manifestation is already on its way. Life is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Everything you experience, every event that unfolds, every person you meet is a mirror reflecting the state of your own consciousness. You are not a passive observer placed in a random world. You are the creative center from which your entire reality flows. The power you seek outside has always been within, quietly shaping your world according to your inner assumptions, feelings, and beliefs. When you understand that you are the source, you stop blaming circumstances, people, or luck for what happens in your life. You begin to recognize that everything appearing around you is a perfect reflection of what is happening within you. The thoughts you dwell on, the emotions you nurture, the stories you repeat, these are the blueprints from which your life is built. The universe is not separate from you. It is a living mirror that responds with precision to the energy you emit. If you feel love, life shows you love. If you feel fear, life gives you reasons to fear. It is not personal or cruel, it is law. The outer world is like a screen projecting the film of your inner state. Change the film within and the projection must change. This is why trying to fix things externally without transforming internally never works. You may alter the scenery for a moment, but the pattern will repeat until your inner vibration shifts. Real power begins when you take full responsibility for your inner world. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin to ask, "What is this revealing about me?" That question transforms everything because it turns your focus inward, where the true cause resides. When you change the way you feel and perceive, you change the experiences that life must deliver. You are not at the mercy of fate, you are the maker of it. Life listens to the tone of your energy, not the noise of your words. It responds to the frequency of your state of being, not the surface of your desires. When you embody peace, you attract harmony. When you live from gratitude, you draw more to be thankful for. When you radiate confidence, doors open effortlessly. The universe does not choose favorites. It simply mirrors whatever you consistently express. The shift from victim to creator is the most powerful transformation a person can experience. Once you realize that nothing can enter your world unless it finds a place within you, you gain mastery over your life. You no longer chase outcomes. You cultivate states of being. You learn to live from the inside out, not the outside in. Every time you center yourself in love, faith, and certainty, the world begins to reflect those qualities back to you. You are the cause, never the effect. Life is not testing you, it is echoing you. The moment you embrace this truth, you reclaim your power. You stop waiting for change, you become it. Preparation for your blessings does not begin with action, it begins with belief. The world teaches us to prepare by doing, striving, and collecting evidence before we can feel ready. But true preparation happens within. You align yourself with your desired outcome not by struggling to make it happen, but by assuming it is already yours. Belief is the soil in which every blessing grows. When your mind and heart are aligned with what you desire, the path to it opens naturally. To believe is to live from the end, to see yourself already in possession of what you seek. When you believe something fully, you begin to act, think, and feel in harmony with it. You no longer question if it will come, you know it must. The inner conviction becomes so real that the outer world has no choice but to mirror it. The unseen becomes seen through the power of unwavering belief. Most people prepare for their dreams by waiting for signs or opportunities before they feel ready. But readiness is not something that arrives from the outside. It is something you declare within yourself. When you believe that your blessing is already unfolding, your entire vibration changes. You start walking differently, speaking differently, expecting differently. That inner shift is what rearranges your external reality. The universe moves in response to certainty, not doubt. Think of how a person prepares for a guest they know is coming. They clean the house, set the table, and make space. Not because they see the guest yet, but because they believe the visit is certain. That is how belief works. You prepare inwardly because you know your desire is on its way. You don't beg for proof. You live as if it's already done. This attitude of faith creates the magnetic field that attracts everything required for its fulfillment. When you live from belief, your actions flow naturally. You don't force them, they emerge effortlessly from your state of knowing. You might be inspired to make a call, start a project, or change your routine, not out of desperation, but out of alignment. Right action always follows right belief. If you take action from fear or lack, you reinforce separation. But when you act from belief, your actions carry power, purpose, and momentum. Belief is preparation in its purest form. It is the invisible readiness that tells the universe, I am available for my blessing. You don't need to see it to know it's coming, you only need to feel it. The moment you believe, you shift timelines. You step out of waiting and into receiving. Life can only deliver what your faith makes room for. So stop waiting for the right time. The right time begins when you believe. Prepare inwardly. Feel the joy, gratitude, and calm of already having what you desire. As you align your inner state with that feeling, everything required for your blessing begins to arrange itself perfectly. The outer preparation will follow effortlessly, because belief has already built the foundation. There comes a moment when inner acceptance becomes stronger than outer appearance. When you no longer doubt, question, or strive, because something within you knows the outcome is already secured. That inner knowing is the signal that begins the inevitable unfolding. Once you've accepted the victory within, life has no choice but to mirror it without. The universe operates by law, not chance. It reflects the state of your consciousness with perfect precision. So, the unfolding begins the moment you stop asking if it will happen and start resting in the feeling that it already has. You may not see evidence immediately, but the process has already begun. Just as a seed once planted must push through the soil to reveal the tree, your inner acceptance must express itself through time and circumstance. You don't need to force it, chase it, or control it. You only need to remain faithful to the feeling of fulfillment. The rest unfolds naturally. When you accept victory within, you shift your entire vibration. You move from hoping to knowing, from trying to being. This change is subtle but powerful, and it alters the trajectory of your entire reality. People begin to respond to you differently. Doors that were once closed begin to open. Coincidences and opportunities align themselves in ways you could never have orchestrated. These are not miracles in the sense of luck. They are the natural consequences of your inner transformation. The outer world is like a mirror that has no choice but to reflect what stands before it. If you hold an image of peace, the reflection must be peaceful. If you embody abundance, life cannot help but display abundance. When you truly accept victory within, there is no longer any energy of striving or lack. You begin to carry yourself as someone who already has what they once longed for. and that confidence radiates through every action, thought, and word. The world then rearranges itself to confirm your assumption. Many people sabotage their unfolding by constantly checking for results. They plant the seed and then dig it up to see if it's growing. But the wise know that faith is patient. You don't need to see the process to know it's happening. The moment you have felt the wish fulfilled, the outcome becomes inevitable. Life is compelled to reflect what you have already accepted as true within yourself. The unfolding is not your responsibility, your alignment is. You are not the doer, but the receiver of your own consciousness. When you accept that truth, you stop interfering with the process. You let life flow through you instead of trying to control it. Everything that appears afterward, every event, every delay, every coincidence, is part of that unfolding, moving you steadily toward the full manifestation of what you have already claimed in spirit. So rest in the assurance that your inner victory has sealed the outer result. There is no struggle left, no need to question or chase. What you have accepted within must appear without. It is law, and law cannot fail. The unseen is already organizing itself into form, and soon you will stand face to face with the reflection of what your soul has always known. The victory was yours from the beginning. Everything you've heard leads to one timeless truth. Your world is your reflection. What you imagine, what you feel, what you believe, and what you accept within yourself becomes the reality you walk through. You are not waiting for change. You are creating it with every inner assumption you hold. When you awaken to the signs, when you use imagination as the blueprint, when you feel the end as real, when you remember that you are the source, when you prepare through belief, and when you rest in the inevitability of your victory, nothing can stop what's already yours from unfolding. This is your moment of recognition that everything you've dreamed of is not ahead of you, but already within you. The unseen forces are aligning, the path is clearing, and your victory is inevitable. You don't need to chase it, you only need to become it. The power that creates worlds lives within you, waiting only for your belief to give it form. Get ready, because your time has come. The life you once imagined is now calling you to step into it fully. You are about to witness the beauty of creation responding to your faith. Thank you for listening, and remember, you were never waiting to win, you've already won. There comes a moment in every person's journey when the air feels heavy with change, when everything familiar begins to lose its shape, and something unseen whispers, "Be still, something is coming." This is that moment. Everything in your life is about to shift. But the question is, are you ready to receive it? You see, transformation never begins on the outside. It starts in the silent corridors of your mind, in those quiet moments when you dare to see yourself differently. You are not waiting for the world to change. The world is waiting for you to change your inner stance. Reality bends itself around the picture you hold inside. If you keep seeing yourself as limited, life will echo back limitation. But the moment you dare to feel yourself as abundant, as chosen, as powerful, life rearranges to fit that vibration. This shift that's coming is not random. You've been calling it in through your thoughts, your desires, your imaginal acts, every time you said, "I know I'm meant for more," you sent a signal into the unseen. And now that unseen world is answering. But remember this: before the new can rise, the old must crumble. You might lose things, people, habits, even comfort zones. Don't resist it. That's not destruction. That's recreation. The old self cannot enter the new reality you've asked for. So stay ready. Stay ready in your mind. Stay ready in your emotions. Stay ready in your imagination. Readiness doesn't mean waiting. It means living now as if what you desire is already here. Walk with the quiet confidence that your next level has already been released. Speak as the person who already possesses the promise. You are not preparing to become, you are remembering who you already are. And when the shift comes, and it will come, it won't come slowly, it will happen in a moment, like the turning of a page. One day you'll wake up, and everything that once felt distant will feel natural. You'll realize that nothing actually changed, only you did. Your world is the mirror, and you are the reflection. So breathe deeply, stand tall, expect the miraculous. Everything in your life is about to shift, and you are already in position to receive it. Everything that you see around you is not as solid and independent as it appears. What you call reality is nothing more than the reflection of your inner state, your thoughts, your beliefs, and the assumptions you persist in. The world does not move first, you do. Every event, every opportunity, every person that enters your life is a mirror responding to the tone of your inner being. When you understand this, you stop trying to change the outer world by force and instead turn inward where the real power lives. If you want a new life, you must first become new inside. You cannot live in abundance while thinking from lack. You cannot experience love while holding thoughts of rejection and fear. The outer world is a faithful servant. It simply delivers what you continually impress upon your subconscious mind. If you hold an image of yourself as successful, peaceful, confident, and capable, even before any evidence appears, you will soon find the world arranging itself to match that picture. The secret is this: life does not respond to your words, it responds to your feeling state. You can affirm prosperity all day long, but if deep within you feel poor or unworthy, that feeling will dominate. The law of life is always working. It listens not to what you say, but to what you believe to be true. This is why change begins only when you dare to shift your inner assumption about who you are. Most people try to fix the mirror instead of the face it reflects. They struggle with circumstances, chase validation, and wrestle with conditions, not realizing that every outer struggle is just a shadow of an inward pattern. The moment you stop fighting appearances and begin to change the self-concept within, your world softens and begins to yield. The energy that once seemed resistant suddenly moves in your favor because you are no longer resisting yourself. To shift within means to live from the end, to feel now what you wish to experience later. It's to walk in the awareness that you already are the person you desire to become. It's to close your eyes and dwell in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, knowing that this inner reality must express itself outwardly. Every great transformation begins invisibly. Like a seed buried in the soil, the new version of you must first take root in imagination before it can bloom in the physical world. When you persist in this inner knowing, When you refuse to let appearances convince you otherwise, the outer world has no choice but to catch up. It may appear as coincidence, luck, or divine timing, but in truth it is your consciousness made visible. The shift within is the only shift that matters, for the world can only reflect what you are conscious of being. Change yourself in feeling, and your life must change in form. Everything begins and ends within you. Imagination is not a daydream or a fleeting fantasy. It is the creative power of life itself. Everything that exists in the physical world once lived in someone's imagination. Every invention, every building, every piece of art, every success story began as an unseen picture in the mind of its creator. The unseen precedes the seen. What you vividly imagine, feel, and persist in believing becomes the world you eventually walk through. Your imagination is not secondary to reality. It is the blueprint from which reality is built. When you imagine something with intensity and emotion, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. The subconscious does not question whether your image is real or unreal. It simply accepts the feeling that accompanies it and begins to reproduce that pattern in your outer life. Just as a seed grows in darkness before breaking through the soil, your imaginal acts grow unseen before revealing themselves as events, people, and circumstances. The law is simple but profound. Imagine it clearly, feel it deeply, persist in it faithfully, and it must come to pass. Most people use imagination destructively without even realizing it. They rehearse fears, worries, and failures in their minds and then wonder why life seems to echo those very experiences. Every mental picture you dwell upon is a silent command to your reality. The universe does not distinguish between imagination and memory. It mirrors the emotional state you occupy. When you imagine disaster, you call it forth. When you imagine harmony, you invite it in. The power works the same way for all. Only its direction changes based on your focus. To use imagination wisely is to live deliberately. It means you stop reacting to what is and begin creating what shall be. Close your eyes and see yourself already in possession of what you desire. Feel the joy, the relief, the gratitude as if it were happening now. Let the scene be vivid and alive. The more real it feels to you within, the faster it hardens into fact without. You are not pretending, you are remembering your potential into being. The imagination is not fantasy, it is reality waiting for form. When you persist in an imaginal act long enough, life begins to rearrange itself to make it real. People will appear, opportunities will unfold, and the impossible will start to feel inevitable. This is not magic, it is law. The outer world is compelled to mirror the state you occupy within yourself. You cannot outwork a poor image, but you can effortlessly outpicture a powerful one. So guard your imagination as you would a sacred garden. Do not allow fear or doubt to plant weeds where beauty could grow. Every thought is a seed, every feeling is water, every belief is sunlight. What you choose to imagine today will determine the landscape of your tomorrow. The world you experience is simply your imagination made visible. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It is the quiet conviction that what you have imagined, felt, and claimed within yourself will one day stand before you in tangible form. Faith does not rely on evidence, it creates evidence. It is not hoping, nor is it mere wishing. It is the deep inner knowing that the unseen reality is already complete, and that your only task is to remain aligned with it until it takes shape. Without faith, imagination remains a dream. With faith, imagination becomes destiny. Every great manifestation requires this invisible bridge. There will always be a gap between the moment you imagine your desire and the moment it materializes. Faith is what carries you across that gap without falling into doubt or despair. It is the steady assurance that even when nothing seems to be happening, everything is happening beneath the surface. Like a seed planted in soil, the manifestation grows in silence before it breaks through into sight. The impatient mind wants proof, but the wise heart knows that faith is proof of things not yet seen. Faith begins as a choice, the decision to trust the unseen over the seen. It is easy to believe when evidence appears, but true power lies in believing before it does. When you hold fast to the end in your imagination, regardless of outer circumstances, you anchor yourself in the creative flow of life. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and refuse to waver, you activate unseen forces that begin shaping your world accordingly. Faith is not passive. It is the most dynamic state of consciousness there is. The testing ground of faith often comes in silence. There will be moments when nothing seems to change, when your mind whispers that it's all in vain. This is the moment where most give up, yet this is precisely when you must stand still and know. Faith is endurance in the unseen. It is the calm voice that says, though I see nothing, I know it is done. The world may call it foolishness, but every great transformation in history was once invisible. Faith keeps you connected to that invisible pattern until it reveals itself in time and space. To walk in faith means to live as though your desire were already yours. You speak from fulfillment, you think from completion, and you act from certainty. You stop waiting and start being. Life must respond to that inner conviction because it has no choice. Consciousness is causation. The outer world will conform to the belief you sustain. Faith does not demand signs, it produces them. It does not beg for outcomes, it embodies them. When you truly believe, your vibration changes, your energy aligns, and the universe mirrors back the very thing you have accepted within. Faith is the unseen bridge that carries every dream from the world of imagination into the world of form. Without it, nothing lasts. With it, nothing is impossible. Every transformation requires a shedding. You cannot step into a new version of yourself while clinging to the thoughts, emotions, and assumptions that shape the old one. Growth is not just about gaining something new, it is about releasing what no longer serves the life you are becoming. Old states of consciousness must die so that new ones can live. Every time you evolve, an older self must be buried. This is not loss, it is renewal. The world you experience is molded entirely by the state of consciousness you occupy. A state is simply a habitual way of thinking and feeling, a pattern of belief about who you are and what life is. When you identify with limitation, you live in the state of limitation. When you identify with abundance, you live in the state of abundance. You do not attract according to what you want, you attract according to who you are. This means every new level of life demands a new identity, a higher mental frequency. The difficulty is that the mind resists death. The old state fights to survive because it has become familiar and safe, even if it no longer brings joy. It whispers, "Stay where you are. It's too risky to change." Yet nothing new can be born in the comfort of old patterns. The person who constantly replays past hurts cannot experience true love. The one who clings to scarcity thinking cannot receive abundance. The one who insists on control cannot enter peace. Every miracle requires the surrender of an old mindset. To die to an old state is not to force it away, but to withdraw attention from it. What you stop feeding with your focus loses power. When you cease to identify with the person who suffered, who failed, who doubted, that version of you dissolves naturally. You don't destroy the old state by fighting it. You transcend it by choosing something higher. The moment you fully accept a new assumption, I am free, I am loved, I am successful, you have already left the old state behind. This process may feel uncomfortable, even painful at times. The ego mourns the loss of the familiar. There may be moments of uncertainty as the old dissolves and the new has yet to appear. But just as night must fall before dawn, the death of the old self always precedes the birth of the new. Do not resist the in-between. It is sacred. The emptiness you feel is simply space being made for something greater. When you finally release the old mental patterns, the doubts, the fears, the self-concepts that have kept you small, you will notice how effortlessly life begins to flow. People change, opportunities appear, circumstances rearrange. The outer world cannot hold on to an identity that no longer exists within you. Every ending is a silent announcement of a new beginning. So, let the old state die with gratitude, for it brought you this far now. Step forward into the new self that has been waiting for you all along. Readiness is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It is about becoming the perfect vessel for what you desire. To be ready is not to anticipate something in the future, but to embody it in the present. Readiness is a state of consciousness, a calm, confident awareness that what you have asked for is already on its way, and that you are prepared to receive it. Many people think they are waiting for opportunity, but in truth, opportunity is waiting for them to align. When you are mentally aligned, you have already decided within yourself that your desire is possible and already yours. There is no inner conflict, no debate, no hesitation. You no longer wonder if it will happen, you know it must. Mental readiness is a quiet certainty that removes the noise of doubt. It is the conviction that the unseen is as real as the seen. When your mind holds this steady image, life begins to move around it like iron to a magnet. You do not chase. You attract through clarity and certainty. Emotional readiness is just as vital. The emotions you consistently feel set the tone for what you experience. To be emotionally prepared means to dwell in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, to live in joy, gratitude, and calm expectancy even before evidence appears. Many delay their blessings because they are emotionally tied to lack, fear, or impatience. They want something new but still feel the energy of the old. Readiness requires emotional consistency. You must feel now as you would feel when your desire is realized. That vibration is the signal that calls your new reality into being. And finally, true readiness means being open to receive. This openness is not passivity but surrender, a release of control and a trust in divine timing. You stop dictating how your desire should come, and instead you allow life to surprise you. Openness means knowing that you are worthy of what you desire, that you do not have to earn it through struggle or effort. The universe does not respond to need, it responds to alignment. When your heart is open, the flow of life can move freely through you. Readiness is not an act, it is a vibration. It is a deep sense of peace that says, I am ready now. This state collapses time because when you live from readiness, you are already in the energy of having. Things begin to show up almost effortlessly because you are no longer pushing them away with doubt or fear. You are in harmony with what you have called forth. To stay ready is to live as though the shift has already occurred. Speak from fulfillment. Think from completion. Walk as if life has already answered your prayer. When you do, the outer world has no choice but to mirror your inner readiness. The door opens, not because you knock harder, but because you have become the one who belongs inside. Change does not always arrive with noise or warning. Often it unfolds in silence, invisible to the eye, yet undeniable in its power. The shift you have been preparing for, imagining, and aligning with does not build slowly in the outer world. It matures quietly within you. And then, all at once, everything rearranges. What seemed impossible becomes natural. What felt distant stands right before you. And what once required effort now flows with ease. Transformation does not come as a dramatic event. It comes as a realization that the world has finally caught up to who you have become inside. The mind expects change to announce itself, for signs to appear, for gradual progress to confirm movement. But true transformation is subtle. It happens in the unseen realm of consciousness. Every time you choose faith over fear, every time you persist in a higher assumption, every time you refuse to react to appearances, you are shifting, though you may not notice it. Each quiet choice reconfigures your inner world, and when the inner world reaches a certain tipping point, reality itself must adjust to reflect it. The shift often happens when you least expect it, not because it's random, but because resistance has finally dissolved. You have stopped grasping, stopped doubting, stopped checking for results. You have settled into the knowing that what is yours is inevitable. That state of surrender, peaceful, certain, detached, opens the door for change to rush in. It feels sudden only because you did not see the invisible work that had been unfolding all along. The seed had been growing roots in darkness long before it broke the soil. When the shift arrives, it does not require effort to maintain. It feels natural, as though it had always been this way. You may even forget the struggle that came before, because the new reality feels so familiar, so right. That is the sign of a true inner transformation. What once felt like a dream becomes your normal. The miraculous becomes ordinary. Life rearranges itself around the vibration you have sustained. This is why patience is sacred. You do not force the shift. You prepare for it. You keep your mind steady, your emotions calm, and your imagination fixed on the end you desire. You walk by faith, not by sight. Even when nothing seems to be happening, you trust that everything is moving beneath the surface. The transformation is already in motion, even when the evidence is absent. Then one morning, something small changes. A phone call, a chance encounter, a sudden opportunity, and you realize the entire landscape of your life has shifted. The waiting ends, the effort ceases, and you stand in the fulfillment of what you once only imagined. This is how all true change happens, quietly, invisibly, and then all at once. So stay ready, stay faithful, and trust the unseen process. The shift you've been preparing for is closer than it appears. Everything in your life is aligning for a great transformation, one that begins not with effort, but with awareness. The moment you decide to shift within, the world has no choice but to mirror that new vibration. Every step you've taken in faith, every image you've held in imagination, every belief you've nurtured has been preparing you for this very moment. You are not waiting for life to change. Life is waiting for you to remember your power. The old self has served its purpose. The new self is ready to emerge. Stay aligned, stay open, and stay faithful, for the unseen is already forming into the seen. When the shift happens, and it will feel sudden, effortless, and inevitable. The life you've been imagining is not on its way, it's already here, waiting for your recognition. Thank you. My friends, the secret is simple, yet so often overlooked. You must act as if your time has come. Do not wait for signs. Do not wait for circumstances to prove themselves. Life does not unfold because of evidence in the outer world. Life unfolds because of the conviction you hold within. Imagination is not a shadow play of idle thought. It is the creative power that molds reality. The moment you dare to assume that you already are what you wish to be, you set in motion forces unseen yet irresistible. Act as if the door is already open. Walk with the confidence of one who has already arrived. Speak as though your desire is behind you, not ahead of you. For what you claim within will soon appear without. The world mirrors your inner stance. If you persist in living as the one who waits, then waiting will be your portion. But if you persist in living as the one who already has, then having will surely be your portion. Faith is not passive hope. It is not looking forward to the day of fulfillment. Faith is bold assumption. Faith wears the garment of the accomplished fact. Faith moves through the world with assurance, even when no proof yet stands before it. So I tell you, take your place now. Let the feeling of the wish fulfilled clothe you. Breathe it in, walk with it, and let it shape your tone, your posture, your every word. Act as if your time has come, and the world will rearrange itself to make it so. Imagination is the seed of reality. Everything that exists in this world, from the grandest achievements to the simplest acts, was once nothing more than a thought, a vision, a silent picture in the mind of someone who dared to believe it. Before the building rises, it lives as a sketch in the architect's imagination. Before the song is sung, it plays within the quiet chamber of the musician's heart. Before the life you desire unfolds, it must first be planted and nurtured within the soil of your inner world. The world you see is not as independent of you as you may believe. It bends and reshapes itself according to the persistent images you carry within. What you assume to be true, though invisible to all, becomes the foundation upon which reality builds itself. If you continually imagine lack, you will meet lack. If you imagine abundance, you will encounter the opportunities and circumstances that confirm it. This is no accident. Life is not governed by chance, but by law. The law that the inner state calls forth, its reflection. When you treat imagination as idle daydreaming, you dismiss the greatest creative force you possess. Imagination is not a place of escape, it is a workshop of destiny. In the silence of your inner vision, you are the author, director, and actor of your life's play. Whatever role you repeatedly cast yourself in there, the outer stage will one day demand you step into. The world must follow your assumption, for assumption is creative, and imagination, once clothed with belief, becomes fact. Think for a moment of the countless times your imagination has already written your story. Perhaps you feared something and felt its reality so vividly that soon circumstances brought it into being. Or perhaps you dreamed of success, lived in it in secret moments, and later found yourself walking into a reality that matched your dream. Whether you were conscious of it or not, imagination had already gone before you, preparing the way. The great mistake is to assume that imagination is weak and facts are strong. In truth, facts are nothing but imagination fulfilled. What you now call reality was once only an image, sustained long enough to take form. If this is true, and it is, then the wise learn to guard their inner world, planting only the seeds they wish to harvest. No farmer sows thorns expecting roses, yet so often we sow thoughts of fear, doubt, limitation, and wonder why our lives mirror the same. To live wisely is to take imagination seriously. It is to choose deliberately what you assume to be true, not because you see it yet, but because you know the world must yield to the seed planted within. Begin today to imagine not what was, not what is, but what you desire to be. Feel it as though it is already yours. Walk in its light, speak from its truth. Nurture it with persistence, and soon, as every seed does, it will break the ground of the invisible and show itself in the visible. To live in the end now is to enter the state of your fulfilled desire as though it were already accomplished. To feel as if your outcome is not a hope or a distant dream, but a present reality. This is the essence of creation, for life does not unfold by waiting for proof, but by assuming the proof is already given. When you live in the end, you no longer chase after what you want. You rest in the certainty that it is yours. And by resting in that certainty, you draw it into form. The mind that waits is always postponing. It says, one day, when conditions change, I will be happy, I will be successful, I will be free. But the mind that lives in the end says, it is already done, I am already there. This is not wishful thinking. It is the law of becoming. For you can never experience anything in the outer world that you have not first accepted within yourself. To feel the end now is to shift from desire to possession, from longing to having, from hoping to knowing. When you live in the end, you begin to act differently. You speak with a new tone. You walk with a new confidence. You make choices aligned with the reality you have claimed, rather than the reality you see. And though nothing may seem to have changed in the outer world, you are already different. This inner difference is the cause of the outer change that must eventually follow. The world is a mirror, and it reflects not what you want, but who you are being. Think of it like a seed. When a seed is planted in the earth, it does not yet look like the tree it is destined to become. But the seed already contains within itself the full pattern of the tree. The tree is in truth already here, hidden but inevitable. When you live in the end, you plant the seed of your desire and water it with your feelings of fulfillment. You do not dig it up to check if it is growing. You rest in the certainty that it must, and as the seed, so the desire. What you nurture inwardly in faith will inevitably grow into form. Living in the end requires imagination. It asks you to step beyond appearances and feel what the senses cannot yet confirm. You must dare to see yourself as the person who has already achieved what you long for. How does it feel to be that person? What do you see when you look through their eyes? How do you carry yourself? How do you speak? How do you live? The more vividly you inhabit that state, the more natural it becomes. until it feels less like pretending and more like truth. And here lies the mystery. When you persist in living, in the end, the world rearranges itself to match your inner conviction. Circumstances shift, people appear, doors open. What once seemed impossible unfolds, as if it had been waiting for you all along. For creation is finished, and you claim it not by waiting, but by assuming. To live in the end is to declare with certainty, it is done, it is mine, I am already there. Identity precedes manifestation because nothing can appear in your world until it has first taken root in who you believe yourself to be. Life does not respond to what you want, nor even to what you think you deserve. It responds to who you are in consciousness. The outer experience is always the reflection of the inner identity. If you wish to see change in your world, you must first assume the change in yourself. You must become inwardly the person who already has what you seek. Every desire you hold points to a version of yourself that is calling you. If you desire wealth, health, love, or freedom, you are not simply wishing for things, you are longing for a new expression of self. But unless you shift your sense of I am, the desire remains a picture without substance. To manifest anything, you must wear the identity of the one who possesses it. For example, a person who longs for success but inwardly clings to the identity of failure will unconsciously sabotage every opportunity. Their actions, words, and decisions spring from their self-concept, and the world dutifully mirrors it. This is why transformation begins within. The true work is not in forcing outer events, but in assuming the inner position of already being the one you wish to be. Ask yourself, who am I in relation to my desire? Do I see myself as lacking, waiting, hoping? Or do I dare to claim, even in silence, that I am already the one who has arrived? Once identity shifts, everything else follows. Your thoughts align, your emotions shift, your behavior adapts, and opportunities appear. All because you no longer identify as the seeker, but as the possessor. And so, identity is powerful because it governs the subconscious. You do not act against who you believe yourself to be. If you think of yourself as weak, you will never take the steps that belong to the strong. If you think of yourself as unworthy, you will quietly repel the very love you desire. But the moment you accept a new identity, not as a future possibility, but as your present reality, you unlock a new pattern of life. The subconscious accepts the image of self you persist in holding, and life must yield the experiences that confirm it. To become inwardly the person who has what you seek, you must claim it in imagination and feeling. See yourself as already living the life you desire. Speak as though it is yours. Walk with the dignity, the confidence, the gratitude of one who already possesses it. Do not wait for permission from circumstances, for circumstances only echo your state. Begin now to carry yourself in harmony with your chosen identity. Soon the world will no longer deny you, because it cannot. The outer must conform to the inner. When you firmly and consistently identify as the person who has, rather than the one who seeks, manifestation ceases to be a struggle. It becomes natural, inevitable, and effortless, because the law of life is this: identity precedes manifestation. The outer world mirrors the inner state because life can only show you what you persistently hold within. Circumstances are not random accidents, nor are they independent forces outside your control. They are reflections, echoes, and shadows of the convictions that live in the depths of your being. What you believe, feel, and assume inwardly writes itself upon the stage of your world. When you understand this, you stop wrestling with appearances and begin shaping the unseen cause, your inner state. Every person you meet, every event you encounter, every condition you face is a mirror held up to your own consciousness. If you carry within you a sense of lack, the world must present itself as empty, withholding, and scarce. If you carry within you a sense of abundance, the world cannot help but show itself as generous, fertile, and overflowing. The law is impartial. It does not favor good or bad, rich or poor. It simply reflects the image you continually impress upon it through your inner conviction. Many imagine that if only circumstances would change, they could then feel differently. Yet the truth is reversed. If you feel differently, circumstances will change. The world is plastic to the mold of your inner assumption. Persist in fear and you will walk through a fearful world. Persist in confidence and you will find doors open, people receptive, and events aligning in your favor. The difference lies not in chance, but in the unwavering state you occupy within yourself. Persistence is the key. A fleeting thought or a momentary feeling will not uproot the patterns of a lifetime. But a conviction held steadily shapes reality with irresistible force. The outer world bends, not to passing wishes, but to sustained inner certainty. Just as water wears down stone through persistence, your inner state, held long enough, dissolves the resistance of appearances and calls forth a matching reflection. Consider how often you have proven this law unconsciously. Perhaps you expected rejection and found it wherever you turned. Or perhaps you carried a quiet confidence and noticed how people responded with respect and openness. The circumstances were not the cause, they were the mirror. The cause was within you all along. When you grasp this, you stop blaming the outer and take responsibility for the inner. You recognize that to change the reflection, you must change the image it reflects. The work then is to live inwardly in the state you desire, regardless of appearances. Feel yourself secure when the evidence suggests otherwise. Assume yourself loved, even if loneliness surrounds you. Claim abundance in the face of lack. Hold to this inner conviction with persistence, and the mirror of life will eventually display it. Circumstances cannot resist the authority of a deeply felt state. They must rearrange to confirm it. And as we've said, it cannot happen to the circumstances cannot happen to the authority of a deeply felt state. They must rearrange to confirm it. So do not chase the outer world, for it has no power of its own. Tend to the inner garden, plant the seeds of conviction you wish to see, and persist in their care. The reflection will follow. The outer world has no choice but to bend to the persistence of your inner conviction. Faith is not waiting, it is assuming. To wait is to place your desire in the future, to confess that it is not yet yours, and to postpone its fulfillment indefinitely. But true faith does not look ahead for proof. It rests in the certainty that what is longed for is already accomplished. Faith is not passive, it is active. It assumes the reality of the unseen and dares to live as though it were already manifest. This is the difference between a wish and a conviction. A wish hopes, but faith assumes. Waiting keeps you in a state of lack. It says, one day, when conditions are right, when opportunities arrive, when the world approves, then I will have what I seek. But assumption lives in the now. It declares, It is already mine. I walk in it, breathe in it, and move from it. To assume is to accept as fact that which the senses deny. It is to take hold of the invisible and treat it as the only truth, trusting that the visible will soon align. Belief must be lived, not postponed. If you say you believe, but still act, think, and feel as though you lack, then your belief is only a hollow word. Real belief transforms behavior. It gives you a new posture, a new tone of voice, a new vision of self. When you truly assume, your decisions reflect it, your inner dialogue confirms it, and your world begins to mirror it. You no longer beg for what is already yours. You express gratitude and confidence, knowing it cannot fail. Faith is creative power clothed in assumption. It does not wait for evidence because it knows evidence follows conviction, not the other way around. Just as the seed carries within it the invisible pattern of the tree, faith carries within it the certainty of fulfillment. You do not wait for the seed to prove itself before you believe it will grow. You plant it, water it, and assume its destiny. So with desire, once claimed in faith, it is as certain as the rising of the sun. To practice faith is to discipline the mind to dwell in the end, not in the absence. When doubt whispers, "But it is not here," faith replies, "It is already mine." When appearances shout, "Look, nothing has changed," faith calmly asserts, "All has changed within, and the outer must follow." This persistence of assumption bends reality until it conforms to the inner stance. The world cannot resist the authority of lived belief. The tragedy is that many confuse waiting with faith. They pray, they hope, they long, but they remain in the posture of lack. Their very waiting ensures more waiting, for life reflects the state they occupy. But the moment one stops waiting and begins assuming, everything shifts. Doors open, paths clear, opportunities align. Not because chance has favored them, but because faith has claimed them. Faith then is not passive expectation, it is present possession. It is the bold assumption that your desire is already fulfilled and the courageous choice to live accordingly. Stop waiting, assume now. For belief is only real when it is lived. To act as if it is already done is to step into the reality of your fulfilled desire with your whole being, in thought, in feeling, and in action. It is to stop treating your dream as a distant possibility and to begin living from it as though it were already fact. The world cannot resist the conviction of one who carries themselves in harmony with their desire. When you act as if it is already done, you send a signal to life itself, and life answers by arranging circumstances to confirm your stance. Acting as if is not pretending in the shallow sense of make-believe. It is embodying the truth that creation is finished and that your desire already exists in the unseen. You are not trying to force reality into being. You are aligning yourself with what is already yours. Just as an actor who plays a role with conviction eventually becomes indistinguishable from the part, when you assume the state of your fulfilled desire, you gradually become it in truth. Sibi, 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 Sibi. To move as if it is already done means your actions spring from confidence rather than hesitation. If you were already the person you long to be, how would you walk into a room? How would you treat others? What choices would you make? Begin to live from those answers now, for the world responds not to your words but to your state of being. You cannot fool life with empty gestures, but you can transform it by saturating your thoughts and actions with the feeling of fulfillment. To think as if it is already done is to discipline your inner dialogue. No longer do you say, "One day I will have it," or "I hope it comes." Instead, you think from the place of accomplishment. It is mine. I am already living it. Every thought becomes a silent rehearsal of the desired reality, and by repetition, that inner script hardens into fact. The subconscious accepts the story you persist in telling, and the outer world mirrors it faithfully. To feel as if it is already done is the deepest layer, for feeling is the language of creation. Thought alone may wander, but feeling anchors the reality in the subconscious. Ask yourself, how would I feel if I already had what I seek? Would it be relief, joy, gratitude, freedom? Allow yourself to feel it now, to let that emotional state saturate your being, and you will discover that life begins to echo it in visible form. The power of acting as if lies in its persistence. For a moment, anyone can imagine themselves successful, loved, or free, but to consistently move, think, and feel in that alignment, regardless of appearances, is the true test of creation. The outer world may resist at first, but it cannot withstand the steady conviction of one who has already claimed the end. Eventually, circumstances yield, people shift, and events unfold to match the inner alignment. So do not wait for proof before you believe. Act as if it is already done, and belief itself becomes the proof. Move with the confidence of fulfillment, think from the place of completion, and feel the joy of possession now. In doing so, you harmonize with the reality you claim, and life itself has no choice but to reflect it. Every great change begins within. Imagination is the seed of reality, and when you dare to live in the end now, to assume your desire as already yours, to step into the identity of the one who has, the world cannot help but mirror that state. Circumstances will bend to your inner conviction, for faith is not waiting but assuming, and assumption demands action. When you act as if it is already done, you align every thought, every feeling, every step with the reality you claim, and the unseen moves to make it visible. The truth is simple. Life is not happening to you. It is happening through you. You are the author of your story, and the script is written in the silence of your inner world. Choose today to write with confidence, with certainty, with faith, and watch as your world rises to confirm it. Thank you for sharing this moment, for opening your heart to these words, and for daring to see beyond appearances into the power that is already yours. Your time has come. Believe it, live it, act as if, and so it shall be.